So today, Jason made a point that when I'm pulling, I'm kind of just like doing a happy to be here guard pull. So I was pulling into Delahiva and well, I think first of all he thought I was pulling into like a normal guard pull where I get the foot on the hip. But he's like, if you don't get any contact with that pulling foot, then you're pass. You're pulling the guy into a passing position. Second concept is that pulling isn't just like default. What do you do if you can't do a takedown? Default pull, just like sit back and pull guard. It's just as complex as doing a takedown. So your opponent needs to be like in the right position. You need to maneuver them in a position where it's ideal for you to do the guard pull. It's not just like just sit down wherever. And then it's not like a passive maneuver. You're not just like sitting down and suddenly you're in the right guard. You need to like be active. I think that's the best way to think about it. So a guard pull is an active technique. It's not just I can't do anything, therefore I'm just gonna flop down. So yeah, you need to maneuver them in the right position. You have a distinct goal that you want to accomplish. It's not just surrendering. So that's the first takeaway today. Another is I was rolling with Elkie, and I was like working really hard to get into spider guard. Finally got into spider guard, and then half a second later she like grabs my feet and pulls me like away. So I was just like happy to get into spider guard. And then I relaxed. So I need to maintain pressure through the legs. But just because you got in a position doesn't mean it's like, it's not like it's a checkpoint, like a save point or whatever. That's when you gotta like turn it on, I guess. You fight to get into that position, and then as soon as you get in a position, then you need to start attacking from there. It's not, I can rest now, because that's when they're just going to take advantage of it. So I think that happened a few times when I just got out of a sticky situation, or I got into a position where I was like, I accomplished getting into the position, and then get taken advantage of. So lesson 2. So I also noticed my breathing wasn't great. I noticed a couple times when I was like holding my breath. I'm sure it happens more often than I'm realizing. So that's something I should take note of more. Just try to focus on breathing. But otherwise than that, I think today was pretty good. I did get into guard a lot. In the beginning, I was forced to turtle because I think the guard pulls weren't good. So I was like pulling them into side control. My back escapes need more work. And then also my turtle escape. I'm literally pulling them into back control from turtle. Like my fat man roll is not working very well. So I need to look at that tape again. I think it's turning inside more. But yeah, let's check that out. Today we did a bunch of different stuff. We started off with the takedown of Osoto, then we did from the ground if someone's standing over us. You have a sleeve grip into an ankle pick and into a single leg. And then if you have a sleeve grip and they step into you, getting into a shin to shin, and from there either sweeping or getting into single leg X. Okay, so Osoto gari, it's elbow lapel. So let's say you have the elbow grip with your left hand and lapel grip with your right hand. You need to square up. Then you step out with your left foot and then hook with your right foot. Hook the back of their knee with your right foot, right heel. And then you want to keep your right hand lapel grip tight. Your elbows should be bent. You shouldn't have a straight arm. So with that bent arm, you can apply like your weight and your body weight. So you're pushing his head kind of backwards over his back. So his head is coming over his spine, and then you're pulling his foot, the inside of his knee with your right heel backwards or toward you. So that's the sweep. So the first entrance is you take an outward step with your left foot, and then you kind of get any purchase you can with your right heel, and then you can use that to hop in closer to him and get your foot into the back knee that way. Second entrance is stepping with your right foot to the top of his right foot, so you're like big toe to big toe. Then stepping the left foot either inside of his legs or right next to your right foot, and then bringing the right foot in to the back of the knee. That is to imitate the entrance of a I forgot what the name is, but it's another throw. Another throw starts off the one where you throw them over your back. So you're faking going into that throw and then doing this throw. Another thing to look at is his grip. So your left hand is on his elbow. So he probably has a grip on your elbow. So you can either break that grip, or you can emphasize bringing your body outside his body line. So you're not pushing into the direction of his arm. You're pushing his arm out. So he doesn't have control over your body with his arm. That also helps you get outside to get the elbow, the knee, the hook on the knee. So I think that's all the points on this little gari. Let's see. Okay. So then when you're in sit-up guard, you can't reach his legs. It's hard for you to reach his lapel. So would you have to do, so Tim taught me that you should kind of hop forward and grab lapel and get into the de la riva. Alternatively, if you want to be a little bit more reactionary, you can wait and they will come into you to try to get a grip, to get their grips. So they will first reach with their hands. So if they reach with their hands to your head, you can move away. And you always want to keep them square to you as this is going on. But if they reach for your head, you can grab. So you grab from the bottom to the top. You grab up, and if they, so you can just grab their hand, and either he didn't really talk about this, but I imagine you can do like an arm drag or something like that, or just push their hands aside and recenter yourself. What we went over today is, what if they're reaching for your legs or your lapel? In this case, you get a sleeve grip on the top, and then you turn it in. So you get a sleeve grip, you turn it down a little bit, so your thumb is down. It gives you a little control over the arm. Let's see. Okay, and then at this point, you can do two options. First one is single leg, and the second one is an ankle pick. So single leg, you get that grip, and they step forward with the opposite foot. So if your right hand gets a grip on their left sleeve, so same side, and then they step forward with their right foot. In this case, you want to do an ankle pick. So you're probably in a butterfly. So what you would do is you swing it so your right shin comes to the ground and your right foot is like sticking out, and you come to your knee. And then you pull the right wrist out, and you come up and get an ankle pick with your left hand on his right foot. So you pull his right foot, you pull with your left foot, you pull with your hands out in both directions. So the hand on the wrist is pulling right, the hand on the ankle is pulling left. And he should go down. Then, if he steps forward with the same, so if his left foot is coming forward, you have the sleeve grip, you drop the sleeve, you come up to shin to shin. No, then you come up, right, okay. You drop the sleeve, you come up to your knees, and you underhook with your right arm. And you come up into a single leg. You still have, you come up into the single leg, and then you pass the sleeve through. So you have a single leg with control over his arm, and then you can just put it down. Yeah. So those are the two options there. Okay, so now what if, instead of like driving through after you get the sleeve grip, instead of driving through, what if he steps back a little? Not even steps back, just doesn't push forward. So his weight is very slightly back. So in this case, you can go shin to shin. So you can do shin to shin. So you're sort of like in a butterfly, and then so your knee is outside and your foot is in the inside, and your shin is against his shin. And then you do like a sit up, and then your neck is holding his leg close to you. And then from here, you can sweep. So you should still have sleeve control. So you can sweep from this position. The shin acts as a hook. So you can sweep from this position. Or if they start driving in again, you can use that hook to push him up. Oh, one thing is, he's pushing in. He's stepping back. he's stepping back, and then you get shin to shin, and then he pushes in. All right. First one is he steps back, you get shin to shin. Then if he stays back, that's when you sit up and do the sweep. If he starts pushing back in, that's when you do this other thing. Oh, actually, there's three ways. Okay, so then he pushes back. You scoot, so he's not pushing directly into you. So you scoot a little bit to the outside. I had trouble doing this. You scoot to the outside a little, and you let him come through. And you can actually push him through with your leg. So this works if it's either regular sit-up guard or shin to shin. So if it's regular sit-up guard, you can use your knee to kind of push them in the butt past you, or if it's shin to shin, you can use that hook to push them past you, and then you come up on the back. Alternatively, if you have shin to shin, and he's not like pushing really hard into you, you use the shin to shin pressure to push into him, get a little gap, and then you shoot your legs through into single leg X. Well, shoot your legs through, and then you raise your hips and get into single X, and then you can shoot from there. So that was all the variations today.